morning. We are nearly finished with our packing and heading off to Mount Fuji today. We have about 4 or 5 trains to catch, so it's going to be a big travel day. We're heading to Mount Fuji because originally our plan we were going to go to Tokyo and just do maybe an overnight trip there, but we couldn't book an accommodation for a month long enough, so we have a week to kind of kill, so we're going to stay there for a week. Google Maps is telling us to catch 2 trains, but we're just going to order a cab instead because we can't be bothered with that and it's just going to be faster to get to Kyoto station. Okay, the taxi is so much easier, so you're basically just paying for convenience. We are now in line to buy our ticket for the bullet train because, as we learnt last time, it's so much easier to do that and it guarantees a seat together. Those 2 hours went so fast on the bullet train, but we still have 3 more trains until we're at Mount Fuji. We finished with the trains, we're not there yet. It's still a 24-minute walk away. If we see a cab, we will hail one, but otherwise we're quite happy to do the walk. It is 2 o'clock though, and we are absolutely starving, so if we find a 7-Eleven or Family Mart along the way, we are definitely stopping. Sandwich is secured, so I'm gonna enjoy this while we take a little breather before we continue on. We didn't get far from lunch and now we have to take these up there, so pray for us. Why are you celebrating?
There's a lift!
There's a lift, so we're saved. It's nearly 4 o'clock and we timed that so well because it just started raining as we got up to our room, so luckily we didn't have to walk in the rain. But we've just been sitting here for a little while and just going through what we want to do here, so unfortunately the next day is rain as well. As you would have seen earlier in the video, you can't really see Mount Fuji, it's kind of peeking out through the clouds, and as I said, it is raining, so I don't think we'll do much else tonight other than getting dinner and just kind of relaxing. I did manage to do some work. I know it's Sunday, but it's raining and we weren't really doing anything else. However, it is getting later, so we're gonna go just to like a local convenience store to grab some dinner because we can't really be bothered heading to a restaurant because they're all pretty far from here and we just don't really want to walk in the rain and the cold. So this place has like a communal kitchen area which we're using to have dinner, and they also provide a free breakfast every morning here too, so that's really convenient. For dinner I've got some ramen and some vegetables as well. We're back in the room after some dinner and a few rounds of Uno, which I'm not gonna lie, I kicked butt in. But I think we're just gonna call it a night and watch some Netflix in bed. I did have to unpack my things because I want to shower before I get into bed. And while this place has a pole to hang your clothes, it doesn't have any coat hangers. So I've had to just take all my clothes out and leave them in there packing cubes on top of my luggage case. So on that note, I'm gonna go get ready for bed. I almost forgot, with dinner we did buy like a dessert, and we found these, they're apple pie flavored chocolates, and we also grabbed the just milk chocolate pie ones, so we're gonna try them before we head to bed. Going with the chocolate pie one first, just because I think the apple pie one will be better. They're really good. They're like layers of crispy pastry covered in chocolate, so really yum. I'm excited to try the apple pie. Yep, definitely love the apple pie more. It's covered in a white chocolate, but it's just, I don't know how to describe it. Bite-sized apple pie. It's so crispy. These were great little finds, and I think I will be buying them again.
The whole point of making a podcast and get people to trust us.
Good morning, it is 6:30. We've just rolled out of bed pretty much, as you can probably tell from my face, but we are so happy it is blue skies outside because yesterday it just rained pretty much all day. Morning, we've literally just rolled out of bed, as you can probably tell from the puppy eyes, but we booked ourselves in for the 7 to 7:30 breakfast spot. We thought we'd be up earlier to go look around and things like that, but when we set our alarm it was pouring with rain, and it is still pouring with rain, but we're gonna go get breakfast regardless. So we're gonna head out for a walk this morning to see if we can catch a glimpse of Mount Fuji. We've only been walking around for about 30 minutes, but I did have us booked in for our breakfast at 7 because this place does provide breakfast, but you have to like put your little magnet on what time you're coming in the night before. Unfortunately, before we continue on exploring for the rest of the day, we do have to get some work done after breakfast, but then we'll head out again. We've managed to do a little bit of work this morning, but we are going to head out now for a walk. We're pretty far out of town, so I think we'll be walking for a few hours today, but at least the weather is a lot nicer than what it was yesterday. As I said, that walk did take us an hour, but we are at the lake now. We did get a few little peaks of Fuji as we were going along, which was really nice, but we're going to continue our walk around the lake as it's really beautiful and peaceful. We've just been walking around the lake and stumbled upon this little cafe, and they had an iced black and peppermint tea, so I got that, and my partner got a hot black and lavender tea. So fluffy. It's like the lightest cake I've ever eaten. That was a very much needed break, but we're gonna continue on walking for another hour or so to that famous, it's like Honcho Street or something. We know that we probably won't get a nice view, but that's okay. We're enjoying being out amongst nature. So we're just walking past the Lawsons now that I know that they're putting up a board to prevent people taking photos there, and it is so busy, even though you can't even see Mount Fuji. As expected, you cannot see a single thing, which is kind of funny because it's blue skies behind us, but it's like the whole mountain just is covered with clouds. It is nearly 2 o'clock and we've done nearly 24,000 steps, so I think we're going to call it and start heading home because we still have nearly a 50-minute walk home. Before sitting down for lunch, definitely had to shower. I've gone with a pork sandwich and some spicy cucumber for lunch. For the rest of the afternoon/evening, I'm just gonna keep working on my vlog because we are absolutely wrecked after walking for, I think it was like 4.5 hours. My feet hurt, so time to take a little break. We are still editing this vlog. It's actually going to be quite a long one, but it is dinner time, so we're going to go get some dinner. We've done nearly 30,000 steps today, so we're going to call it a night because we want to be up really early tomorrow. We're hoping to be up by 4 a.m. to hopefully get some clear views. So on that note, I'll see you tomorrow morning. It is 4 a.m. We are out, but it is raining and we've just looked at the weather forecast and it's meant to rain for majority of today. You cannot see Fuji. That's kind of in the direction where it would be, and it's just clouds, and the other way is clouds. We're going to walk up to the pagoda, so there's kind of no point, so we might just go back to bed. Good morning. It is 4 o'clock in the morning and we are heading up to the pagoda. It's like an hour walk. That's why we're out so early, but it's meant to be a really clear morning, so fingers crossed we get a really good view today. As you can see, it is clear views, so hopefully by the time that we are there, we're able to get some photos. However, we have the most beautiful sunrise this morning, which last night as well, we got a really pretty sunset, but I didn't have my camera on me. Maybe I'll insert some photos here because it was absolutely stunning last night as well. If you're wondering why we are walking as well, we could rent bikes from our hotel, but you can only rent them from 7 till 5 p.m. So it's too late in the day to go and get photos, and you can't drive here unless you have an international driver's permit, which we didn't unfortunately get back when we were in Australia, which I wish we had, because having a car around here would be so much easier because you could get around a lot faster. So if you are planning on doing Mount Fuji, I would recommend trying to get the international driver's permit so that you can drive instead. Did it. We made it to the top. I think at the end I was like sprinting up those stairs 2 at a time because as you can kind of see there's a bit of cloud setting in, but it's still as clear as we're going to get, especially as far out as we are, because we have to walk to all these locations. So my suggestion would be definitely staying closer to town if you want to get some of these shots. From the pagoda, we've headed down to Honcho Street because it's only a 12-minute walk, and we've managed to grab some awesome photos. So really happy that we've been able to get a very clear morning of Mount Fuji. We've finished taking our photos. It's only 6 a.m. so we'll probably start heading back now, but it definitely pays to come out this early because it is absolutely dead. There is nobody else around, and this time of the year it's as clear as you're gonna get Mount Fuji, but it is an hour walk home, so we're gonna head back, probably have a nap at some point today. We may head back out, but as you can see the clouds kind of set in, so we're not too sure. I'll keep you posted. Just finished breakfast and also managed to book the private onsen. So we do have our own little like private hot spa here that we haven't used, but when we were booking this place online it said that they had a private onsen like our last place and we were able to use it together. But this place you have to book it separately for men and for women, which was a little bit annoying because it is more enjoyable to use it together. But it will be something to look forward to tonight. I'm going to continue getting ready and collecting my things before we head off for work. This is probably the most bizarre experience ever, but the cafe that was closest to us is actually in a theme park. So it's free entry and you pay pretty much for the rides, but we had to go through the theme park to come sit and work at a cafe. So very, very odd. But we'll probably stay here for a few hours until our laptops die and then we'll head back. We made it to 1 o'clock before our laptops died, so we're gonna grab some lunch before we head back. Those designs are definitely still a work in progress. We decided not to go back out for the remainder of the day because we were just absolutely exhausted, and also that cloud had set in. As I said earlier, we had booked the onsen for 7 o'clock and it's nearly 7, so we are ready to go head to our private onsen. All finished at the onsen and now we have dinner. We only lasted 30 minutes. We'd actually booked it for an hour, but it was so hot, so we got out after half an hour. Tonight for dinner, I just have some noodles and some spicy kimchi. Just got back from dinner and it's 9 p.m. so we are so ready for bed. 2 nights in a row of getting up at 4 a.m. and I don't think we'll get up at 4 tomorrow just because I think the weather's going to be very similar to today, so we might sleep until 6 a.m. who knows. But on that note, I'm going to call it a night. Good morning! Today we are actually checking out of this place and checking into another place that is in the Mount Fuji area. Our new place is a ryokan, so it's a traditional Japanese home, so we've got beds on the floor and seats on the floor. We're really excited for this experience and we're hoping because it's in the lake area, like closer into town, we'll get to explore a bit more. So I'm gonna head down to breakfast, and after breakfast we will come back and pack. This is probably the worst part about traveling full time because everywhere we go, you kind of unpack all your luggage and then you gotta pack it back up. So let's get packing. You'd think after doing this so many times I would have a system in place or I would know how it all fits back in, but I don't. Every time I pack it, it feels heavier. So, I don't know, someone explain that to me. Bag 1 is all done and now I've just got to do bag 2. We're all packed and ready to check out, so I'm going to go down to the lobby and check us out and then order a cab. All checked in and this place is so nice. We've got the private bath booked in for today and tomorrow as well. And from our room, you can't see it today because it is very cloudy, but I'm sure if we got up at 4 a.m. you'd be able to see it. You can see Mount Fuji. It's just in that direction. This place already feels like a way better location. The guy checking us in was the sweetest guy ever. He was so helpful and even told us that there's a famous bakery around here that opens up at 10 a.m. until they're sold out. So the bread is very popular. We're probably going to spend the next half hour just kind of unpacking and settling ourselves before heading out for lunch. We did go to the other cafe that guy recommended with all the bread. It smelled amazing, but they didn't have a sit down area, so we came to this cafe instead. I have the kiromitsu latte, we got the white chocolate eclair, and the cookie puff. Visiting Mount Fuji, make a stop here because oh my god, these pastries are incredible. It is nearly lunchtime, so we are heading back to that first bakery just to grab something savoury to eat for lunch. So we did pick two. The first one we got is kind of like a pizza one. It had olives, so I was sold. And the second one with Google Translate, it said it was like a potato bread. So we were very curious and picked that one up. Okay, the potato one is literally just a whole potato in the middle. It does have mustard on it, which is nice, but I think the pizza one was definitely better. We've just been walking around the lake a bit and it looks like it is going to rain, although it says that it's not meant to on the radar. But we've come into a cafe called Tea's Cafe and we ordered the hot apple tea and a hot peach tea and they smell amazing. We are back in our room. It was getting so cold outside and I was only in a t-shirt and shorts, and we've got 2 hours to kind of kill before our time at the private bath, so we thought we'd just come back and relax for a bit. We finished up with our private bath and then we're getting ready for dinner. We'd seen a pizza place earlier today and we're like, yep, we want something different, so we'll go there. Well, it turns out that they shut at 5:30 and there is no other restaurants in this area. However, we are so thankful because our Airbnb host left us a cup of noodles, so that is our dinner tonight. It is quite early, but we're gonna head to bed because we want to be up at 4 AM to hopefully catch a beautiful sunrise. We are really hoping for a clear day for our last day, even if it's just for a few short hours. We'll take it at this point. But yeah, on that note, we're gonna call it a night. Good morning. It is not 4 AM. We did get up at 4 AM, but it rained last night and this is Mount Fuji and has been all morning. So we kind of had a very slow morning. We're going for a big walk around the lake and then we'll grab some breakfast because nothing really opens here until 10 AM. Did we just spend $40 on bread? Yes. We are so hungry this morning. We don't expect to eat it all. Obviously we have breakfast tomorrow morning too. Who knows, we might be greedy and we might eat it all. We're not really sure what a lot of them are because it is all in Japanese, but we did translate a few of them yesterday, so we kind of have an idea. This was the ham and cheese twist one, and my partner's having a honey baguette, which looks really good.
Very crunchy.
That crunch of the bread, you can just tell how fresh it is. So this one is another like ham and cheese variation. I'd say with the orangeness of the bread too. It might have tomato in there. Sorry, this one is a bacon and cheese. Last up we have these blueberry ones, and I say last up, we do have more, but it's probably going to be the last one that I eat. But oh my god, these looked too good not to buy. After enjoying our bread, we came to a cafe because it is so cold today, so we ordered some hot drinks to warm up a bit. After coffee, we went and dropped the bread back to our room and also went to a little gift store to pick up our little like souvenir. We try and collect little ornaments that we can hang on our future Christmas tree. So this is the one that we picked up for Japan. We know the weather is not that great today and this is the view of Fuji, but we thought we'd kill some time by going on a walk. We're back from our walk. We walked for just over 2 hours, so we are in definite need of some lunch. We have some leftovers from this morning's bake shop and we have the garlic baguette, which smells really good, and we have those pizza ones that we bought yesterday as well. So we really enjoyed them, especially the olives, so we bought them again. We haven't really done much the last few hours, but it is time for our private bath, so we're gonna jump in. It is our last morning and you wouldn't believe. I could cry. I'm so happy right now. I woke up at 5:30 in the morning and I looked at the live stream and I'm like, get out of bed, and ran down here. It is honestly the best way to end our stay. We're back at our Airbnb in the warmth. We've taken our photos, but oh my god, it is so windy and cold outside. So we are enjoying a hot coffee with a beautiful view of the mountain. We're back up in our room because it is time to pack, but just like that, our view of Mount Fuji is gone. It doesn't last very long. You do have to be up early if you do want to see it, but I'm just so happy on our last morning that we got that view. That was so incredible. But now we're gonna pack and we're gonna head to Tokyo. It's a bus and 3 trains and then walking, so I think we're gonna catch a few cabs instead just to make it easier because today is meant to rain. We are about to check out. It is nearly 10 o'clock, but I am going to go grab breakfast while my partner checks us out because the bakehouse doesn't open till 10. We are also leaving a bit later because we can't check into our Airbnb in Tokyo until 4 p.m. So we've got hours to kill and it is going to take a few hours on the train just to get there. So we're having a nice slow morning to slowly get to Tokyo. Goods are secured. We had to go back with that bacon tomato one and we had to also get the blueberry tart one last time.
Excuse me, we asked another taxi for you.
Oh.
They say they will arrive here in 10 minutes.
Oh,
So
thank
sorry
you.
for the rush.
No, that's okay. We're partway through eating, but our taxi has just pulled up, so I think we'll have to save this till later. Train one. We made it to Tokyo, we showered, unpacked, and we're all set in. We're gonna be here for the next 3 weeks. While I really enjoyed our Mount Fuji trip, I will call it a bit of a fail because let's be real, we really didn't see the mountain a lot. And if it's overcast and you can't really get views of the mountain, there's actually not much to kind of do in the Mount Fuji area except eat, which I think we did really well. But in saying that, if you are planning a trip to Mount Fuji, these are the things that I would recommend. I would probably stay maybe 1 or 2 nights so you can do all the beautiful walks and views in the area and are kind of guaranteed a view of Mount Fuji. I would actually recommend probably not coming this time of year because as you saw, you kind of only get peaks of Mount Fuji in the really early morning or at sunset. Another thing I would recommend, if you can, hire a car because we had to walk everywhere. Yes, there was the train, but the times that we were getting up, the trains weren't running or the buses weren't running, so we had to walk and that can get very tiring. Another takeaway was choosing your location. Our second Airbnb was so nice, and I will link it down below for you because the guy who owned it is a Taiwanese guy and he had a friend helping him out there, but they are the nicest guys. They really went above and beyond, so I really recommend staying. The only tip is maybe packing your own dinner because, as you saw, there is no restaurants open at night. As I said though, we are in Tokyo for the next 3 weeks. I actually already have a Tokyo vlog because we came here from Australia when we first landed and we did 2 days here, so I've got that up for you if you want to see some of the Tokyo highlights. Otherwise, I will be sharing another vlog of some further exploring of Tokyo. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button to follow along on our travels, and I'll see you in the next video.